Hello. So how have y'all been enjoying this so far? This is just, I have enjoyed it. Listen to it. I'm getting so much out of it. So I know that you have to be. But we have so much more good stuff to give you. So Andrea was amazing. Love listening to her. And then Ellen gave us so much to really think about and some good action steps. So I hope you took those. Today we're going to talk about personal development. And then tomorrow we're going to talk, Melissa's talking about time management, which is huge. How many of you, time management is hard for you? I know it's one of the skills I had to learn because it did not come naturally to me. So I can't wait to really hear from her because it's a constant skill that I'm having to master. It does not I need help anyway. So anyways, we're going to talk about personal development and how it can really help you today. I know. Okay, so let me tell you, I don't feel like I told you enough in my intro. So my husband and I got married young. I had a baby we got married at 18. I had my first baby at 19. I didn't have parents that could really guide me and mentor me. They struggled themselves with money their whole life. And a lot of times we didn't even know when I was growing up, actually I can remember coming home on the bus and not having electricity because the bill didn't get paid. So they didn't really give me the skills I needed to manage money. And we struggled for a long time in our marriage because of the bills, like living paycheck to paycheck, not knowing if we're going to be able to pay our bills, like on the cusp of literally just going under financially. We even had to file bankruptcy at one point, and that was hard. It gave me so much anxiety. I felt like a complete failure. I didn't understand why I couldn't figure this out. I was like, why is this so hard? Why am I constantly in debt and can't get out of debt? Something always comes up. I had no idea how to manage my money. It is a true skill. So fast forward, after years of struggling, came to a point where we had 2 kids, and then we had 3 teenagers move in with us. And I think that was kind of like the breaking point of, okay, we're already not making it, and now we have 3 more teenagers. If we're going to go under, like, this is not going to turn out well. I've really got to step up my game. I've got to do something else. And so at the time I was finishing up school for aesthetics and working at a med spa, they opened it up, they set it all up and hired me. I was the only person working, and they're from Austin. So it was just me. And it was pretty slow. They tried TV commercials, radio commercials, tried running like Groupon and stuff, but that does not work in my area. It's really word of mouth that works. It is the referrals as how you build a business. So after about a year, they were like, okay, look, this isn't working out, and we're going to sell the business. And they offered it to us. And so my husband and I were already drowning in debt. And we were like, well, maybe this is the opportunity that the Lord is giving us as a way to get out of our situation right now. And so we went ahead and took it. We took some money out of his IRA for the down payment, and then we financed the rest. So that was scary. Like, we had a $2,000 loan now, a business with hardly any clients, and it was a lot of pressure. So we're in that on top of all the debt. I was like, oh my goodness, Lord, you're going to have to help me through this. But I was like, okay, I'm up for the challenge. And so we just went forward. And at the same time, I was using this product and seeing like amazing results. It was really helping our family with 5 kids, helping them sleep because they like to stay up all night, and then they don't want to get up for school. And I knew they weren't doing well. So I started using just some natural products, and they were going to bed on their own, like at 10 o'clock at night. And I can remember looking at my husband like, what just happened? Because this does not happen. And so I told a couple of people about it. They bought some of it from me, and I got a paycheck, and I was like, what in the world? Like, how did I just get paid? I just told them like something that I would, tell anybody about a product I loved. And so I got with a person who was helping me, and she told me just how network marketing works and about the business and stuff. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is an awesome opportunity. Like, I'm literally don't have to put anything into it. There's no risk because I'm just sharing with people, and they go and buy the product from the company using my referral number. And it has a nice income that you can earn. And so maybe this could like compensate, because if this other business does not work out, I'm going to be paying all of this money, and you just don't know what the future is going to hold. And it's just going to be like money down the drain in a business. I don't know if it's going to be successful or not. And you know that most businesses fail within the first 3 to 5 years. So I was like, maybe I could just do this at the same time. It could be kind of like a safety net. So I just jumped in. I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And there was actually a trip I wanted to take in a few months, because one of the teenagers was going to Disney World to perform. And I was like, how amazing would it be if we could all go and just have 1 week of fun without all the stress, because we had plenty of stress at home, plenty of chaos, and plenty of just messed up stuff. And we just needed a break from it to be a family and have fun. And so my first 2 checks ended up being around $800. I had a garage sale and made another $1,800, and we went to Disney World. And it was one of the most amazing weeks of our lives, and we will never forget it. In the middle, it was like kind of like being in the eye of a hurricane whenever everything else in your world is just chaotic and a mess. We had this little safe space this 1 week where we could just let go and have fun. And so I'm so thankful that I jumped in and was able to do it. But that's what motivates me, as my family, and just being able to live our life without the stress. So I continued on working both businesses, and that the med spa has been a challenge. It took us a good 5 years to really make any kind of income. The first 5 we were pretty much just paying bills, and my network marketing business surpassed it. And even today it has surpassed it and gives us more income. And I'm thankful for it, because whenever we've had challenges, we've had that as a backup. So when we were shut down in 2020, we had that extra income. So all of our bills were still due for the med spa, but we had zero money coming in. So we were able to pay that with our network marketing business and not go under, which was a huge blessing. So, and we were able to navigate a lot of that because of the personal development. So 5 years of not making any money. When I was at my 5-year mark, I was like, okay, this med spa is not making any money. My husband actually retired and started taking over the med spa and running that. So we had to learn how to work together. And we also had to learn just all the skills of having a business. There was no unity in our network marketing business. Like, people were not wanting to work together. It was just a crazy time. And then we couldn't find good employees that wanted to work at the medical spa. And all of that pressure was on our shoulders. Plus, we had teenagers, and that was hard. So I was like, that's it. We're going to have to get some help. And I plugged into personal development stuff and just dove in and started applying it. And it completely changed how our lives looked. We started making money because I just changed a few things. It's so wild how, we just aren't taught the skills to do these things. And so plugging in and getting that helped so much. And then we started just chipping away at that debt and paid it off. Within a few years, we paid off all of our consumer debt. We paid off my car, and didn't have that. When you don't have that pressure of the burden of loans, then you're able to do so much more. And so I really protect that space now, and I'm very careful. We do not get loans unless we know that we have plenty of extra income to pay for it. So I'm going to go over a few things of personal development and how it can just really help you, just some key points. So first of all, you're going to have healthier relationships, and you need this in every area of your life, because money comes from people. End of story. It comes from people. It doesn't grow on a tree. You don't magically get it. You've got to work for someone, or if you're in business, it's going to come from people buying your product or your service. So healthy relationships is very important, and that's why it's number one. Not only is it going to help you in business, but it's going to help you with your family, in your marriage, and with your children, your coworkers, your friends. It will touch every part of your life. And I love that Melissa gave you guys the personality test, because that's huge. Because my husband and I are different personalities, and we think totally different. We still have the same goal of being successful and creating a life for our family, but we communicate it differently. So whenever I started learning about personalities through personal development, then all those silly arguments that we used to have kind of just ended, because we knew how to communicate with each other. So So huge. So make sure you take that test if you haven't. Number two, you're going to have less stress. So given that the killer that stress has turned out to be and how quickly it can negatively impact our overall quality of life, anything that reduces stress is worth pursuing, don't you think? I definitely agree with that. So by making personal development a habit, particularly in regards to stress reducing techniques such as mindful practices, you will be better able to identify and manage and even eliminate key sources of stress in your life. So debt was a key source of stress in my life. And so that's why number one, I had to raise my income. And number two, we had to use that extra income to pay off the debt and get rid of it. So and I don't know what your key sources are of stress in your life, but whatever it is, you'll be able to eliminate those and have the skills. So number three is improve health. And that goes, it just follows nicely from the first two advantages I shared. The link between stress and health is undeniable. More stress equals more disease. Happier and healthier relationships is going to equal less stress. And the more equipped we are to manage and reduce stress, the better our overall health will be. So personal development is going to give you those tools. And I don't know about you, but I want to be healthy whenever I have grandkids. I want to be able to enjoy life with them. Like I imagine myself like going on hikes with them, traveling with them, just having energy to play games and go to all of their activities, whatever they're doing. And I know I can't do that if I don't take care of my health, number one, because I will be sitting on the couch, not being able to get off. I'll be in the bed. I will be depressed because I'm not feeling good. And so I have to be active in making sure my health is number one so that I don't miss out on that stuff. So, how many of you want to be active for a long time? And then number four is I kind of combined two. It's increased productivity and greater success. So, the number one enemy of productivity is procrastination. So, and procrastination is often driven by a deeper emotion. Personal growth will help you have the tools really just to move past fear or whatever is holding you back. I know some people have a hard time making decisions because they overthink something and they're like, okay, and then they go through all of this and they never get anything done. So it gives you the skills to not put something off, to make a decision and feel confident in it. So people engaged in personal growth as a lifestyle and a habit, they dig deeper into those issues. So therefore, they increase the likelihood of arriving at meaningful solutions. And part of being in business is you have to be a problem solver. You have to be. That's what we get paid for. And that's why we run businesses, is because we can solve problems. So we have to really learn that skill. So also, people who consistently invest in their personal growth make 40% less mistakes. How many of you want to do that? Definitely me. Why would you want to go through all the mistakes if you don't have to? Skip it all. Have you ever like ordered a shelf and you got it, you opened it up and you have the instructions, but you set those aside because there's only like a few pieces. This can't be too hard, right? And you start putting it together and you get stuck and then all of a sudden it's not fitting, something's going wrong. So you go back and you read the instructions and you're like, oh my gosh, you skipped a step. So you have to take it apart and redo it. And you're frustrated because you know you should have just read the instructions in the first place and been able to complete the task of putting the shelf together. Have y'all ever done that? I have more than once, which is not good. Like I should learn my lesson the first time. But that's kind of what personal development is getting that manual and reading it and skipping all of those mistakes. And so it's really nice. You can save, relationships, you know how to work with different people and not have to go through the hardship of those challenges. So also another one is greater resilience. Since all of you have been through the year 2020, you know we need resilience. So according to the dictionary definition, resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from life's challenges, tragedies, and difficulties. And it's the psychological ability to emerge from these experiences and return to a healthy mental and emotional state. It's essentially a form of emotional flexibility. So okay, we've all had to work that muscle this past year. I know I have. So personal development just really helps you development helps you just confront and work through those obstacles that are thrown at you. And the time spent developing your emotions Your emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and coping strategies will have a direct and positive impact on your level of resilience. So that is just something that's going to stay with you forever. So when you do personal development, you're investing in yourself, and your return on that is an infinity. Like, it's unlimited. There's no ceiling, because that's yours. No one can take that skill from you. So it's not like buying something and, it only lasts for so long. Investing in yourself is going to give you just the biggest payback in your life. So I know that I like the quote. Let's see, John Maxwell said, leaders are, he said, during a crisis is when leaders are revealed. And I cannot agree with that more, because this past year, the leaders have been revealed, and the people who are not leaders has been revealed as well, because you've seen them sink back and not lead and not know what to do, and kind of freak out emotionally and stuff. And so that was really eye-opening to me. And I hate that the people who I thought were leaders were not, but I can't expect them to be something they're not. They're just not there yet. And they need the grace and the time to develop into those leaders. And the leaders that, were able to make it through, and it was a huge blessing, because I was not alone, and I had leaders just rise up, even people who were not leaders in the past, or I didn't see, they weren't in the forefront, stepped up during that crisis. And it was a huge blessing to me, and really just showed me who were the leaders and who I could, trust, and where people needed to be, which is so important when you have a business, because if someone's not ready to lead something, it's going to fail miserably. And if you put them in that position, and it's not their fault. So it was huge, huge blessing. So greater resilience is awesome, because we're going to need it, especially, 2020 is not the last year of challenges. We're going to always have them, and they're going to develop our character. So we just want to make sure we have the skills to make it through and be successful. So last but not least, but kind of what I would like to say, we have finally arrived at the grand finale of advantages, and that is happiness. So if happiness truly is the journey rather than the destination, then spending time in your daily life to develop yourself will make the journey a heck of a lot more pleasant. And how many of you know that the journey is a lot longer than the mountaintop? So it may take years, the journey may be years, and you want to enjoy that journey. You don't want to be miserable through the journey just to get to success. At least I don't. That was my number one. So whenever we were at that time where there was no unity in our network marketing business, I couldn't find employees that were not miserable, and I couldn't find anybody that wanted to come to work, and it was just stressful. Like, I was like, I don't want to work like this. I want to enjoy it. I want to have people working with me that are excited and that want to help others and do better and make a better life for themselves, not someone who's miserable and always gossiping and have something negative to say. So personal development is going to be huge in making sure that you don't fall back into that negativity and just be miserable through that journey. And then you learn how to surround yourself with the right people who have the right mindset, which is another part, because you have to be able to bless and release those who are not ready for the journey, who are not ready. So it's hard, because you want everybody to succeed, but sometimes they need that space to develop into who they need to be so that they can take the journey. So one of the things I've learned most in self development and personal growth is to be able to bless and release people, to truly do it. And it's been a blessing for me to learn that skill as well as them. And a lot of times they develop into leaders, and they come back, and we're able to work together. Whereas before, if I didn't bless and release them, and I was just angry and mad, and I criticized them because they weren't who I thought they needed to be at the time, it tears your relationship apart, and it doesn't give them that opportunity to come back. I mean, they can come back, but I think that you would have to apologize to them and really take ownership of how you handled it. So anyways, off that little soapbox. So let's enjoy the journey. So my final thoughts are, next time you feel crappy about your life or something in it, and you feel tempted to just go splurge and spend money on makeup or that latest iPhone or clothes, perhaps you'll think again and really find a group that is focused on personal development and invest in yourself. The former might change your mood for the moment, but the latter is going to change your life for good, and that is going to be huge. So a couple of people that have changed my life through personal development is I spent several years plugging into Dani Johnson. She has amazing material that you can order, books to read, and you can listen to her stuff, audios. She's been huge she's great for both kind of businesses, for a brick and mortar and a network marketing business, and it's going to overflow into your life. And then also, I love Eric Worre for network marketing. They both give you skills. It's not a bunch of hype. It's about giving you a skill to learn and go out there and put it into action so that you get results. So those are my two favorite. I want to hear from you though, who maybe you've already been plugging into personal development. Who has been your favorite? Who has really like helped you in your life? Because I know there's a lot of them out there. So I would love to just hear from you guys. And don't forget to fill out the Google Doc and comment so that you get entered into that $1,000 drawing. We're so blessed to have you here, and we'll talk to you later.